Yo, man, LAZ, man, Gen Pop TV. You heard the next big channel on YouTube. You heard this is the best jail stories, street stories, hood stories you ever saw in your life. Rikers Island stories, all in syndication. You heard it's too much content on my regular channel for everybody to see every episode, man. So I gotta put some of these episodes back out so the peoples could see them. You heard? And that's what this Gen Pop TV thing is about. But don't get it twisted. There will be exclusive content that's on Gen Pop TV only. And that's a fact. You heard? But comment gang, make sure y'all tear this up. I need 100, 200 comments on this in the first half hour. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. You heard both channels, the Saint Laz channel and the Gen Pop TV channel. Share these videos to Facebook, tweet these videos out, send them to a friend. Let's get it. Hey, yo, Throwback Thursdays. You heard this is the interview I did with Styles P from the Locks. This joint ain't getting nowhere near as much of a push as this should have got. So comment gang, I need y'all to tear this up. You heard? This interview was fire. Z-Boy. This was a time when ego and pride was overpowering my life. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't want to be in no circumstances where dudes see me and he think I ain't about no action or he's just gonna take advantage of me. You know what I mean? Well, I would say my experience was fortunately for the creator, I never had to do state time. You know, I've done a county bullet as a professional rapper, and I've done about a bullet before I made it rapping. So my experience was pretty much a very surreal out-of-body experience, because the first time I was in the county, I was just a regular, you know, hood dude. Second time I was in the county, I was a made rapper. I was already established. I was already, you know, I had made my mark. And my first album was actually coming out while I was actually in the county. And my experience was weird because besides I had to serve 10 months, I was also facing 10 years for something else, for another charge. So my experience is more, I didn't try, I remained to be who I was outside. And I stayed as smart as possible. I moved around. I ain't gonna lie, I moved around how I wanted to move around. I think the goldenest thing about me is I really I exercise my intelligence to the furthest of my ability to make my time go by as fast as possible. So I was breaking a lot of rules, but I was doing it in a very professional way. Like, you know what I mean? I was delegating with the CEOs on the side. I was making sure nobody was getting jumped, beat up, extorted. House was clean. I was making sure brothers was chilling. You know what I mean? I'm a very humble individual. As soon as I got in, I got a rec job. I eventually ran the rec crew. So I just wanted to kind of change my body up, work out, get my mind right, and kind of change my thought patterns somewhat. So for me, the experience was more of a real understanding, and I was never, if I had the opportunity to get out and get away from that 10 years I was facing, that I knew to myself, if it ever comes to a chance where I'm gonna go back to jail, it's gonna be because I have to. It's gonna be because I'm under circumstances that I have to, because for me mentally it was just it was overwhelming, like, you know what I mean, to be honest with you. During rap and before rap, I made my bones outside on the streets the hard way, you know, so it was kind of difficult to hear people whispering when you try to be giving to somebody, you give somebody a pair of sneakers, or you try to smoke with niggas you fuck with, and then you start hearing people saying you got extorted. So in certain ways there, I was getting a little ignorant and getting pulled back in, and doing stupid shit here and there, like
just, you know, not even stupid though. I wouldn't say it was stupid because it was, I don't know.
So how, like you said, that's a crazy point. Like, so when you a rapper, because I never experienced like being a rapper in jail. Like, you gotta even be careful being generous with niggas, because niggas gonna start acting like you getting extorted or played. That puts a lot of pressure on the nigga.
Yeah, you know, and one day, you know, you can check. One day that shit made me go in the middle of the, you know, in the middle of the ball court on some, I'm the same me from outside, you know, because I was just first getting on. So it ain't like I've been on for years, like, you know what I mean? And my biggest thing is, and to be honest with you, since we keeping it 100, this was a time when ego and pride was overpowering my life, like, you know what I mean? I didn't want to be in no circumstances where dudes see me and he think I ain't about no action or he just gonna take advantage of me. You let one person take advantage of you, that shit keep going, like, you know what I mean? And so I was just on a different time. I had been through a couple experiences where I was like, you know what? Like, the niggas done started something. 20 niggas batted me, still couldn't shatter me. That was a real line, like, you know what I mean? So from that point on, I decided, like, I ain't, you know, you fuck with me, you're gonna have to pay the price and I'm gonna move first. So
this was Valhalla, right? This was Valhalla?
Yeah, this is Valhalla, yeah. So, you know, you get someplace and you feel like, yo, I made my bones outside. These niggas know who I am. Now niggas is whispering that I'm getting extorted. So now they got me doing ignorant shit like standing in the middle of the pen. I'm the same me in the ball court. Whoever think is fucking sure if you already know what it is. Then I'm walking around niggas' houses doing the same. But the good thing was I had a lot of good brothers around me. Like, you know what I mean? And I remained to be who I was outside. If I didn't fuck with you outside, I wasn't trying to get with you in there. I don't, no disrespect to nobody's sets and no Bloods or no Crips, but I'm just me, like, you know what I mean? I fuck with men for men and their character, how they act, and so I treat everybody like that, but I don't let nobody step on my toes either. So I had a kind of good mentality, but a bad mentality at the same time. And really due to my friends, like, you know what I'm saying, due to my homies, due to good dudes in there, they were something like, you got a lot to live for, a lot to go home. You can't wild, like, you got to be good, like, you got to be smart. Even when, like, you ain't here because you wild, like, you mean, you can't be stupid. So that really hit me though, like, because it's like, yo, you fucking smart and you made it. Why are you in here? And that was because of ego and pride. You know what I mean? Like.
So was you actually locked up when the song "Locked Up" dropped with Akon?
Nah, I came out and did Locked Up. That was as soon as I got out, they called me to do that song.
Oh yeah, that's right, that's right.
Literally, as soon as I got out, that wasn't too long.
Dudes ain't even know you was out yet.
The day I got out, God bless my brother X, I did the X and 50 joint. That was like, I literally just got out that day. So the Shot Down X and 50 song, I literally was home like a few hours, I think.
That's crazy.
My experience from there was more so a reality experience, to be honest with you, beloved. Like, that's why I probably,
it's like, how does it feel though? Like, you in the streets, you got cars, you feel me? You got bread, jewelry. It sells in vibe. It's just all cells, or it's dorms?
Yeah, no, it's dorms and it's cells.
But you was in the cell.
The old jail, you got the new jail. I've been through everything because I got moved a lot. I had a horrible experience with the COs because I was who I was, like, you know what I mean? And I was kind of a prick asshole, like, if you wasn't cool with me. I had a lot of COs cool, but a lot of COs that wasn't, like. So, I went from the new jail to the old jail to the pen. They kind of was moving me around a lot. I told you, like, I broke a lot of rules, bro. I don't think nobody, and you can ask, you could check the records on this. I'm not lying. You hit WAP, tell them, ask the homies. Nobody ever smoked that shit out like I did. There was not a day on me that I didn't smoke. My whole bit. Maybe 3 or 4 days tops. Other than that, I smoked every day, fluidly. I had it like clockwork. I used my intelligence. You know what I mean? And we ran it good. I like had COs, like COs was letting homies come in the house. We was checking in. We had to order certain people. I was betting CO stickers on the basketball team. I was I was a coach on the basketball team. Shit, I got a jail championship as a coach in fucking Valhalla. So I made the best of my time, but it was a lot of brothers who held me down. My brother Flip, Seven, Stro, Dre, too many people to even mention. Like just the whole niggas in the town that I fucked with since childhood, homies from the Vernon that I fuck with, because Valhalla's full of Westchester people. So that's Yonkers, Mount Vernon, White Plains, New Rochelle.
Is it a division between Mount Vernon dudes and Yonkers dudes in Valhalla?
Some and some not. Like what's funny is it's a weird thing to say, because with some and some not. It's like a brotherhood with some, and then a division with some. Like I'm close with, like my first bid I super rocked out with Mount Vernon dudes, and my second bid too. My homie Wiggs, all kind of dudes, because I think when you know as LOX though, I think they fucked with us because, and God bless, my father was from Mount Vernon, so I visited the Vernon a lot. Not that I was hanging with him, but I kind of just knew the aura of it more than anything. I think, you know, every hood dude is the same. Like, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter where you from, we're like all the same. And I think when I think some dudes, I think a lot of hood dudes don't understand. A lot of us be gangsters. A lot of us be geeks. We just come up from an environment that's different. But that don't mean everybody is slow thinking. So everybody don't just fucking localize their brain to where they from. I fuck with you from your character, bro. If you from fucking bubblefuck that I never heard of, but you solid, and we got our energies match, I can fuck with you. Like, you know what I mean? That's just that. You could be from my block, born and raised. That don't mean I'ma fuck with you. Mm. And I think a lot of hood dudes get caught up on where they from. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't that where you from shit is if you ain't another place, that just mean you can't, you know, you out of bounds and you can't get to your shit as much or as fast as anybody else. So men respect men, character respect character. So you gotta respect people from everywhere if they respect you, and you got a mutual understanding and respect. So I think with the Locks period, when we came out, we represented the whole 914. We made it known we was from Yonkers, but we really represented the fucked up story of the whole New York. Any young black, you know, dude out in the struggle, especially where we from, but then the whole 914, because you another town away. The block signs is different, the lights is different, you know, the slang may be a little different, the, you know, shit may be a little different, but at the end of the day, what is it? It's the same.
Word up.
It's the exact fucking same. The story's the same. So it's a division with some, and then it's a lot of dudes who you know, out of that same situation form eternal brotherhoods. There's dudes I fuck with to the, you know, the day I get in the grave, from, you know, just being in the county with them.
So the nigga, we running down the block, and the nigga saying, I did this for you, Corey. I did this for you. I did this for you. So I'm saying to myself, yeah, we might have killed that nigga, but they started it though. They started it. So 2 weeks went by.
I always wondered, since that song came out, when you said me in front of Big Lou's fighting in the street with that little slow motion scene of the dude backing up, and it was just looking crazy. Wow, whoever filmed that scene, they killed that scene. But it always made me wonder, did that fight really take place?
The fight really took place, man. And it was really wild because that was a busy street. And for us to be fighting that long in the middle of the street was like, how is this going on when this is like a normal bus schedule? It's like the block is active and everything at that moment just stopped for this one fight. You know what I mean? For this one fight. But it all started with, you know, I knew this girl from the town, and the girl was my age. God bless. She passed away, God bless. But the girl was my age, and we had two little cousins. So our two little cousins, they wasn't too far, maybe 1 or 2 years off, but he was my first cousin. So he was messing with her little cousin. So they lived in Mount Vernon, over in the Heights, which I would later on live in that neighborhood. But I'm coming from Queens, and my little cousin is coming from New Rochelle, which is not a good look if you from over there and you go over there to Mount Vernon and don't know nobody really good. So, you know, me and my cousin, we tight, you know, we gonna go over there. So I'm a chaperone, she gonna chaperone. So, you know, we having a good time. You know, then something happened where some dudes were outside, you know, with maybe 4 trucks, chains and bats and all of that. And, you know, I'm wondering what's going on. Because we did this a couple of times. We done, you know, got together, they got together. You know, we ain't doing nothing. I'm not interested in the girl. She not interested in me, but we cool. So our little cousins is doing their thing, and we just chaperoning, keeping each other company or whatever. Because I'm going back with my cousin. When he leave, he gonna leave with me. So these guys come out and they, you know, talking they shit. They're much older than us, but I'm seasoned in drama because I'm coming from Queens. So I'm seasoned in a way where I'm not panicking. I'm just saying, what's the problem? Because if I didn't do anything, I didn't do anything. So what's the problem? We over here. So they telling me, so, you know, Troy pop out and say his little piece, and I'm telling them, you know, he go over there to his girl and they talking whatever, and they arguing. So I'm asking the dude, you know, or whatever, could be his brother, couldn't be, older nigga, you know, what the problem is, you know. My little cousin's over here and he's dealing with her little cousin and we chaperoning. I don't want nothing to happen to my cousin, so I'm here. There's nothing going on. So they took it for face value. I'm thinking it's dead. So we move on. Maybe 6 months down the line, 8 months down the line, you know, having them is bubbling, they up. You know, I'm trying to finish high school, get myself together. I'm really not at that peak of the music yet, but I'm really starting to get into it as far as the writing and taking it seriously and not being out in the street really too much to agitate that. You know what I mean? Because having them inspired me. So I'm coming off the bus from night school, like, you know what I mean? So I got my backpack on, coming off the bus. Everybody's on the block. So we in front of Big Lou's, you know. So I'm good. It's good to be home. So I'm not gonna go straight home. So I'm gonna keep my backpack on. Or so I'm, you know, mingling or whatever, going in and out of the store, you know, buying what I want to buy or whatever. And I noticed these three Lincolns pull up in this Chevy van, black, you know, all black joints. Niggas hop out, looking brand new, Jordan shit on, you know, looking real crispy. So they pull up on they don't even come to me. They line up in front of me. And then 2 other dudes go to my peoples and talk to them about me. So I'm watching all this, but I'm acting like I don't see it. So I'm watching, but they watching me. So once they put their eyes on me, and I see they looking at me, and I'm looking away, and then I look back, and they still looking at me, I don't take my eyes off them. So I see one of them is carrying a 40 bottle. The other one got like a ring with these spikes on it, all types of shit. Like, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? So I'm like, what is this about? So boom. My man comes over to me and say, yo, Troy want a fair one. So I'm saying to myself, out of nowhere, this nigga want a fair one? Okay. So the minute he said they want a fair one and I said, okay, that's the last thing I remember, because these niggas jumped all over me, fucking me up, right? So now my mans in them is pulling these niggas off of me, yanking these niggas off of me. So I'm out of it. I'm fucked up. Niggas bust my shit, fuck me up. Right? I'm bleeding. I could taste it. I could taste the blood in my mouth. So one time I looked at my mouth, but I didn't look at it. But I could put my tongue through my lip. And I knew they fucked me up because they hit me hard. So my mans is like trying to get my backpack off, because somehow they was pounding me so hard my backpack stayed on my back. Like, so my books was blocking the back shit to my back. So I'm on days. He's like, yo, taking the backpack off. Listen. So they yell. My other man is yelling at them. I thought y'all wanted the fair one. So my man is like, yo, snap out of that shit and do what you do to this nigga. Give it to this nigga. So I get out in the street. There ain't nothing happening. It's like a circle of quietness, like a circle. So I'm still fucked up, kind of. I'm like fucked up, but I'm like mad. So I'm not really fucked up no more. So I'm mad. I said, okay, want to play that game. So he's thinking it's sweet. I see it. So he's doing his shit. I'm doing my shit. And after a while, I'm seeing his plays. So I'm countering his plays. He don't got no plays no more. So now I'm starting to get at him, and I'm just waiting. I'm not waiting for him to like tussle with me. I don't want to tussle. I just want to get to where I can just knock him down. And once I knock him down, then I'm gonna kick him and stomp him. But I want to knock him down first. So he's not, when I'm getting these punches in, he's not blocking them because he don't know where they coming from, because he's not used to being out here fighting with these niggas. So his tank is running out. So he decides, because I'm light, like maybe back then, maybe a good 180. So back then, he thinks he could pick me up. Usually when a nigga can't scrap with you no more, he gonna try to pick you up and slam you. So he tried to pick me up and slam me, but I was ready for when he shot that shit. When he shot that shit, I pushed it back and landed on his shoulders. My knees was on his shoulders, and all I had was his head. When he landed back on me, because when he shot, he thought that he could pick me up and slam me. But when he picked me up, I pushed him over on his back. So he's dead meat now. The fight is over. I'm saying, and it's not even like I'm rushing shit. I'm not rushing nothing. So I got him. His brother punches me in the back of the head. Crazy. If I didn't have a concussion when them niggas fucked me up before, now I got a concussion now. I got a concussion. That shit gave me a headache. So niggas stop the fight. Yo, you can't be doing that when your man is getting fucked up now. You want to stop the fight and do it over. The next time you do that, my man told him, the next time you do that, then it's going to be a problem. So let it happen. So niggas lined it up again. I'm like, yo, but I got a fucking headache, lads. I got a fucking migraine. Yo, so we do it again. So now I'm angry again. Like I gotta do it all over again. So I'm angry. I'm saying, yo, I'm not even gonna like I'm just gonna rush hit this nigga and just punch this nigga. Fuck lining up with this nigga and see what he gonna do. I'ma just bull rush his shit. So when we line up, I just bull rush him with punches and combinations and fucking the nigga up and had a nigga chasing me and just running into shit. So his brother punches me in the back of the head again. So my man said, yo, didn't I tell you ain't supposed to do that shit when your man is getting fucked up? Now you want to get in it? And punch the nigga. When he punched the nigga's brother, the nigga didn't just fall like you just crumpled. The nigga fell back like when you lay back into a pool. The nigga fell straight, body stayed straight and fell straight back onto the concrete. And his head bust wide open. Blood start going everywhere, and then that nigga start shaking. You know what we gonna do next. So I'm watching that, and for a minute, I'm saying, The nigga punched me in the back of my head though. So I'm after him still some more, and niggas is like looking, they frozen, but I'm after him. He's saying, yo, my brother. And I'm saying to myself, I don't give a fuck. You put me through hell tonight. But niggas was like, yo, let's go. And we ran. So the nigga, we running down the block, and the nigga saying, I did this for you, Corey. I did this for you. I did this for you. So I'm saying to myself, yeah, we might have killed that nigga, but they started it though. They started it. So 2 weeks went by. Everybody's up at the hospital. I heard the nigga's in a coma. He's fucked up. He's fucked up. But no cops is coming to my house. Nothing. They kept it 100. Right? So I don't know why they didn't come to my house. I didn't know. So one day I'm saying, you know, I'm an anti nigga. It's 2 weeks already. I'm coming outside. So I go outside. I go up the block like a dumb nigga. I go up the fucking block. I don't know why, but I just couldn't take it. So I'm walking on the block. I just got there. A truck pulled right up on me. I'm like, oh shit, what's this now? I'm by myself. Nothing. I don't got nothing. I'm just walking from the projects. I remember walking from the projects up towards Big Lou's, and the truck pull up on me. The window, the tint is on the truck. The window come down. It's fucking Hev. So Hev is like, get in the car. So I hesitate. Automatically, I hesitate because I know that's the other side. That's some other shit. I don't trust nothing.
Did you know Hev at the time? You knew son?
I knew him well. Like we was buddies. Like we was like on some different time. Like.
And how old was you at this time? Like around?
I had to be every bit of 19, 20. No more than, because I had to make up classes of gym. I had like 3 gyms. So I would always go in my gym clothes and my backpack. And I had to write down different stuff from gym. I didn't even know you had to write shit in gym. I just never went because you had to change clothes, and I wanted to keep my clothes right. So I'm making up all these classes to get a real diploma instead of a GED. So I'm every bit of 19, no more than turning into 20 or something. Because I remember this like it's like yesterday. So that I get in the car, right? Because the nigga look at me hesitating, and niggas say, the nigga got offended. Like, really? You think I'm on it like that? So the nigga got mad. Get the fuck in the car, man. So I got in the car. In the truck. I get in there, we turn the corner on 7th Avenue, and by the projects, I look in the back seat. It's Troy in the back seat. The nigga's in the back seat. So I look at Hev say, why you keep looking at me like that? Why you keep looking at me like that? It's like, yo, man. He said, yo, that shit, I got the nigga here for a reason, because I'm mad at this nigga. I'm disgusted with this nigga, what he did. He should have never approached you with nothing. He should have never came up here to do shit to you. So we was chopping it up all night, chopping it up. We end up at the studio. We chopping it up. And that's how everything got sweet. It just got tight. I never got tight with his brother, but me and him got tight.
But his brother fully pulled through and was back to his normal self?
Yeah, from what I understand, yes. Thank God. Yes. God is good. So he pulled through. But I never had a conversation with him, to my knowledge. I never really sat down with him. I never really studied him. I never really met him and had a conversation or hello or nothing.
How long was it after y'all squashed that beef? How many years later did, son pass away, T-Roy?
He passed away not too long after that, maybe a couple of years after that. You know what I'm saying? He passed away. You know, but I'm glad we got tight because I was really passionate about, you know, what he did. I always felt he didn't have to do me like that, you know, and it really hurt me, you know. So it wasn't like it was no plaything, and you know, we already talked about it, but he had it in his heart and had it in his mind, and niggas done pressed him probably so hard that he just put it in his mind that I was doing something with this girl. And I really wasn't doing nothing with the girl. She was really my friend. And we was really getting a kick off of our little cousins clicking up. But we never thought about clicking up. We was just on the same vibe of vibing, like, you know, little young teenagers vibing. And he turned it into some other shit that I didn't think he should have turned it into. But in any event, that whole platform took me to where I needed to be in the town to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? To get to that level where, you know, you could take wins and losses, and there was wins and there was losses, but all those wins and losses were lessons to get where I was in the town to be great. It wasn't just being good in the town. I was great in the town because I made my mark and I made my name beyond anything that could ever push it another way. You know what I mean? Because I always had my own mind, just like growing out of them YGs. I had my own mind. I knew I was bigger than that. I knew I needed my own set. I knew I needed my own thing to grow because I felt different and I was raised different and I was from a different pedigree. And that's why I'm here today on that same level, on that same vibe.
So when you said earlier that it's only a few big families in Mount Vernon, was Heavy D was his family one of those families?
His family was one of those families because his brothers were known, and he came from a block. See, in Mount Vernon, on their block, on Hev and Pete Rock's block, I had an aunt that lived on that block. My grandmother's sister had a house on that block. My Aunt Mary Jane. So I would always be on that block without knowing them. I didn't know them up until I got in the town and start getting acclimated. And I maybe met Heavy D the first time maybe at 17, 16 years old, because I had a girlfriend that lived across the street from somebody that he used to hang out with. So that's how I met him.
And y'all was like the same age, or he was older than you a little bit?
He was like slightly older, maybe like a year older. He's maybe no more than a year older than me, but he was more mature than the average. But even he been through some shit. You know what I'm saying? Even he came from something. They didn't really think in his family that he would be Heavy D. They thought he would be something else, you know, or nothing. No fat Jamaican kid. Like, how does he go? Who would think that would be Heavy D? That's what made it so crazy and so ill, is that in that time span, he wasn't like I grew up with the love with the real uncles, he had a lot of brothers, older brothers, but he was the youngest. They didn't really look at him as the breadwinner, as the top dog, as the life changer. That's what made it so beautiful being around him, as you saw the growth process. They saw it, even dudes that was with me like Pete Rock saw it way before I saw it. Like when he was driving and lost the eye. When he used to smoke cigarettes, dropped his cigarette and lost his eye. Driving.
Well, he got into an accident because of the
He
cigarette?
got into an accident. Yeah, young nigga.
Damn, I ain't even know that.
And a lot of niggas don't know Hev could fight. Hev's hands is nice. He got nice hands. He's not a pushover.
Yeah, nah, I heard the opposite, man. Like, I heard some was like the mayor of Mount Vernon.
Yeah, he's definitely where grown-ups are. He like command more than any other rapper on the planet. Like, everybody's mama's mama loved Hev. Like all the old people, all the babies, everything love him. I've never seen charisma like that. I've always admired that and wanted to take that from him. But what he gave me was enough. But I always admired how he commanded everything, no matter what rapper was around, what actor was around. He was old. They always wanted to be around him.
Yeah, he definitely was the type of dude that had ultra love in New York and everywhere.
Yeah, I loved him. I'm always love him because he gave us that swag. There was no fat nigga running around that beautiful and that charismatic. You know what I mean? That sharp with his clothes. He always told me, listen, man, I got $100,000 wardrobe. I keep it going every minute of the day. And he always told me, yo, lay off a lot of that jewelry. When you do videos and you be around, lay off a lot of that shit. He said, like, why? He said, like, because when you don't wear it, it look like you broke. So, you know what I mean? Try to, like, you know, minimize that shit so you can move around. And niggas don't gotta predicate your dollar amount off of your jewelry game. You know what I mean? So I always remember that, and I always laid off of anything other than a watch or a little chain you could tuck in, something dainty, and I ain't really into that. You know what I mean? Something real light, then I go with, but nothing heavy. Nothing with the Jesus pieces hanging to the belly and, you know, the cables and all of that. I never been into it anyway, but he always made me, you know what I mean? He always was teaching me little shit like, yo, you ain't into this shit. Getting your nails and your feet done. You ain't into this shit yet. And I always remember that. I gotta get into this shit. So as a young nigga, I was like, I'm gonna get some money. I'm gonna get into this shit. Get facials and all that. Get my feet done and keep my shit up. So he taught me that. Niggas wasn't teaching me nothing like that. And he taught me how to dress. Got me around the ladies that taught me how to dress. Go to LA. I came to LA with a motherfucking Nautica sweats, Timberlands, and a Yankee jacket with a Yankee cap, like every other nigga do. When he go to LA, like, came like that. And then you leave in Versace. Way before niggas had it. I ain't know what it was. I just love the serpent on it, like the serpent head, the Medusa head on it, on your shoes, and they was closer to Bally's I saw than any other shoe. That's why I like Versace. But we had fun though, man. It was fun. It was fun and it was dark. It had dark moments. You know what I'm saying? Coming from a town like New Rochelle starting off and then coming to Mount Vernon and had the best of both worlds. It was crazy. Niggas got in trouble. Niggas got by. Niggas got their lives together. Niggas went different ways, different states. Niggas told on each other, did all types of shit to each other. You know what I mean? We got past all of that to be where we at today, man, because it was crazy back then. It was crazy, crazy, crazy. That strip, 3rd Street, was addictive. Mount Vernon, 3rd Street was addictive. Southside was addictive.
Hey yo, Z-Man, Suicide Polo with the Ski Man, Brownsville, Brooklyn, Dykeman, 200 block. You already know. Shout out my bro Dondre, the boss, and the whole Mount Vernon. You heard? We went from prison cells to living well. All my still in jail, give them hell.